Welcome to Four Finger Discount, where this week we're here to do the review on another trilogy episode. I'm never usually a huge fan of these ones, but hey, what are you going to do? It's love, Springfieldian style. I'm Dando.
And I'm Guy, and yes, this was certainly an episode of The Simpsons.
I've just got here in inoffensive 20 minutes that I will probably never revisit. It's just, I've always said I'm never a fan of these trilogy episodes. They seem pointless to me. I know I think Matt Salmon, our main man Matt Salmon's a big fan of these. I like non-canon episodes where they sort of remember Trilogy of Error?
Oh, yes.
Love that episode, right? 24 minutes, something a bit different, right? But it still feels like it's an episode. It's not three separate things.
Yeah, when you've got these kind of trilogy episodes, I feel like we've got an idea and we either can't flesh it out or we can't be asked fleshing it out. I'm not about to say that the guys at Simpsons HQ are like, near enough is good enough.
I'm so glad we're filming that so everyone can see what you just did then.
I like to think that
you're an attractive yawner. I'll give you that.
Get a load of that. Watch those subscribe.
Look at those subscriptions.
Like and subscribe. Subscribe to my OnlyFans where I just do that.
There probably is an OnlyFans out there where people just yawning. But we had a friend, it was about a month ago, we were talking about how apparently there's OnlyFans where they show women lactating because she's just had a baby, right? She's like, I could literally do an OnlyFans and make a mint just by lactating on camera. And apparently it's big money.
Is she doing this?
She's legitimately considering it.
What have we come to?
I don't know.
At the same time, get the bag, queen. Yeah. But at the same time, what's wrong with this?
I was talking to her, I'm like, do you care? He's like, mate, if she's bringing in that much money, I don't give a shit what she's doing. Because she's like, you don't have to show my face. It's just
the titties.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
I was like,
feet pics.
It's still weird though. Yeah.
It's odd. Yeah. I think the internet just allowed everyone to wave their freak flag high.
Well, we found other freaks that like the same freaky shit. That's the thing.
That's the thing, isn't it?
And it justifies in your head, oh, it's okay for me to like this shit because there's a million other people who like it as well.
We could go deep down a rabbit hole. I think we're talking about this to avoid talking about Love Springfieldian style, which quite frankly is in the parlance of the time is kind of a nothing burger.
I mean, it's not like I disliked this. I just got to the end and went, see, with these trilogy episodes, right, the problem is that it just feels like they've got source material and they've just put the Simpsons characters in there. Sure, there's some tweaks here and there, and there's some jokes, but for the most part, it's just retelling a story.
Are there though? I mean, by the end of the episode, I was struggling to remember what was the first part of this episode. Oh, the Bonnie and Clyde thing, and I could not remember. I mean, I suppose there were gags in there, but none that really sort of hit home or anything like that.
Do you know this was actually rated like higher than normal episodes because of the?
Do you mean like?
Chocolate being drugs.
Oh, okay.
The shooting of Bonnie and Clyde because you've seen them getting even though there's no blood.
When you say rated high, I mean like
not quality wise, as in so it had to air at a later date.
Unquote adult content.
Yeah. So apparently in the UK, this was the equivalent of Weekend at Burnsies when Homer's on marijuana. So they aired this at a later one. I like the way they used the chocolate here as a way to sort of get around that.
I don't have a lot of favourite moments from this episode. We're not going to jump right ahead to that, but if I do have a favourite moment, it's probably like, okay, that's a decent workaround if you are going to do Sid and Nancy. And they did Sid and Nancy pretty faithfully to the best of my recollection. I mean, that's not a bad spin on it.
A positive here too is that we talk about how The Simpsons introduces kids in particular to things of pop culture that you might not have been. Like, for example, the one I always go to is Homer rolling down the stairs like Indiana Jones, right? Yeah. As a kid, you're watching that going, well, you were a kid of the 80s, or you were a kid at the time. Well, what, you were, how old were you? Were you 10? No, you were 15 when the movie came out, right?
Indiana Jones.
Or was it 80? I was 80. That was 10. You were 10,
I was 81.
Right?
I would have been 11 or 12.
Yeah, so you were right in the wheelhouse. So you knew what it was. But like kids of the 90s, we might not have discovered Indiana Jones yet. So, but you knew that's a thing, right? And then you realise, oh, it's Indiana Jones. So they've got the idea in your mind.
You've got the older sibling or the cool kid next door who said, you think that's good?
Well, I had my mate Meaty, who I mentioned all the time on the podcast. His older brother Dane.
You've got Uncle Darren.
Uncle Darren as well. But I remember Dane, his older brother, had the Mad magazines.
Of course.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'd never seen these magazines before. We had a whole stack of them, and my mate Meaty would read them, and he always felt like he was the cool kid because he had the older brother who was into cool shit.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, that's one of the great... look, I am not an older sibling to anyone, but I mean, I've been an uncle, and I like to think that I've passed on the pop culture wisdom to the people who are coming up.
But my point anyway was that I feel like that segment at least introduced kids potentially to punk rock, Sex Pistols, that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, also to the film Bonnie and Clyde. Or
the first one, yeah.
Or to Lady and the Tramp.
I think I've never seen Lady and the Tramp.
Here's the thing.
I think I have, but it was when I was a lot younger.
Likewise, because something I've written down here, I'm sorry to be jumping ahead, but do you think anyone remembers anything from Lady and the Tramp other than the spaghetti kiss?
I can't tell you anything, no.
I can't tell you anything about it either, but I know that they're enjoying a romantic meal at the back of an Italian restaurant, and they both had the same spaghetti strand, and they end up kissing. How delightful. It's been memed and mimicked and parodied and lovingly honoured in so many things.
Homages everywhere, yeah.
Can't tell you a single fucking thing
about
like Lady and the Tramp.
Bambi. I don't remember much about Bambi except for the fact that the mum gets shot at the start.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I could pick an image from Bambi pretty easily, but it's like, what's the story?
Yeah,
Bambi's mum gets killed by a hunter.
What?
And then stuff happens.
The kids watched it about a year ago, and I went, "Oh, Bambi grows up at the end and becomes like this big." I always thought Bambi was a girl, right? I was like, "Oh wait, no shit, Bambi's a boy. Oh, he's a big stallion. He's a big deer now.
Oh,
not a stallion, but a deer. You know, he's got his big antlers, and he's going to be running the show now. He's a big, fully grown deer." And I was like, "Oh shit, there you go."
And his name is Bambi.
Yeah.
Which, do you know any men named Bambi?
Well, he's not Bambi. He's Bambi.
Okay.
It's kind of like Rambo, I guess. He's the Rambo of the deer world.
That's a long stretch, Dando. But yeah, I'm glad you made it. I hope you're feeling stretched as a result. But you're right. Yes, it does pay tribute to a few things. It may. You may have that person in your life who say, "Hey, you know what that's based on," and then you introduce a 10-year-old kid to Sid and Nancy and scar them for life.
I guess it is 3 completely different versions of love stories as well.
That's true. Look, I'm not saying that no thought went into this and that no effort went into this, but it's not something that really stuck with me. I mean, look, 5 minutes after watching this, I was like, oh yeah, that's something that happened.
Yeah.
I know, but I would be, if I didn't take notes, if I didn't write this stuff down, I'd be hard pressed to tell you what happened in it.
I'd love a 22 short films about Springfield style episode on Valentine's Day in Springfield. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I liked the first minute of this where it was just everyone celebrating their love for each other.
Oh yeah, that was actually pretty cute.
This would have been a good story in itself. Just Springfield on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, the whole cheap.
A
very sweet and funny moment.
Yeah,
because I think the Clancy and Sarah relationship might be low key one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
They just get each other. Clancy, you're the remote. Love it. But
get Superintendent Chalmers on the phone. Thank you, Sarah.
But pulling out the gun, but just the look at it, he's like, oh, and then pulling out the flowers, and she's so happy to see the flowers.
There's an episode, a Valentine's Day episode, actually, where Apu makes everybody else look bad because he's got all the gifts from Mandula, right?
I'm aware of that.
Yes. Now, at the end, they have the skywriting, and it comes up like a little star, and everyone mistakes it for their own little thing. And Sarah's like, puffin' fresh. Oh, Clancy.
Yeah, Clancy and Sarah, low-key cool couple. Like them a lot.
Well, so it just feels like she is like the rock behind it because he's an idiot, right?
Yeah.
But he's seen some shit in his job and he's got a tough gig. Comes home, she's the rock.
Indeed, yeah, she is. Today, let me give you a little peek behind the curtain. What happens at Four Finger Discount Industries? Today we were going to record a couple of episodes back to back. We were going to do the next episode of our show TV Launch Pod.
Yeah, we're going to do The Shield.
And we were going to talk about the pilot of The Shield. Bar with the bar, the bang, diggy, diggy.
I was like, what a time capsule. But the perfect song for that moment.
Perfect song for that moment. And it's like, okay.
My name is Kid. My name is Vic.
I think we can all agree that Kid Rock kind of sucks. Yeah. But at that particular moment in time, perfect.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for anything better. I'm trying to remember the name of Vic Mackey's wife. Is it Cassie? No, that's his daughter.
Yeah.
Like, oh, boy.
Suck those.
We'll get to that when we get to that. Talk about getting rated a little higher. You might want to put on the...
It gets a little blue.
I'm just imagining Wiggum as like Vic Mackey.
Just walking in. Let's not go there.
Let's not go there. Anyway, but yes, a good relationship. I like them very much. And I like that start very much. That was good. And there were good snippets, bits and pieces throughout this. But overall, the general vibe.
They don't feel overly that creative, do they? It's just
Not really.
replace names here and there, throw in the occasional sort of, oh, that's the Simpsonized version of this moment.
And
that's it.
Yeah, and I get the feeling, at season 19, they probably picked up on a lot of the things that early adopters and just longtime fans of the show have realised. It's like, oh, this can be an introduction to other forms of pop culture. It's like, you know what's really good about The Simpsons? They teach you about like Citizen Kane or Alfred Hitchcock or this or this or this. And they were kind of like, oh, well, now we've got responsibility. Let's do something on Bonnie and Clyde, a pivotal movie of New Hollywood. I mean, except didn't really do a whole lot with it.
Granted, I know more about the Bonnie and Clyde story now in Sid and Nancy than I did before this episode aired for me.
A good point. Yeah.
I don't know the exact details, but I know the gist of the story now.
And, your interest might be piqued just enough that you'll be like, I go rent Sid and Nancy. Might track down Bonnie and Clyde. Might watch Lady and the Tramp. Probably not.
Well, I actually did some research on Sid and Nancy after watching something like, well, that's probably what it was set out to achieve.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were very faithful to that movie in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Fun fact, do you know Homer was another name considered for the character of Tramp in Lady and the Tramp?
Really? Yeah. So it might have been like Lady and the Homer.
Well, his name isn't Tramp though. He is a tramp, right? Tramp must have. What
see,
is
See, that's what I'm saying.
So
I don't know anything other than
let's look up Lady and the Tramp.
Spaghetti.
Lady and the Tramp. Right. By the way, did you know they did a live action version of that film?
Have they? Or,
yeah, they did.
They actually did do it.
They did do it. It's on Disney Plus. I was like, when the fuck did this come out?
Yeah, because there was that real run of like, let's live action everything, or live action animation everything. There's an actress in it named Kiersey Clemens, who I like. I think she was in like Justice League. She was Barry Allen's girlfriend, Flash's girlfriend or something. Oh, because I was like, oh yeah, they're going to make that too. And turns out they actually made it. What's the one they haven't made yet? They're going to do
They're doing Moana, potentially.
Yeah, the Aristocats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Just CGI cats, not for me.
Yeah, directed by Questlove, apparently.
Okay. I'm just looking up here, though. So Tramp is just his name. Larry Roberts as Tramp, a mongrel. Because, and Lady was her name. So Lady and the Tramp, I guess.
See, her name is actually Lady.
He nicknames Lady Pidge, short for pigeon.
But he's the Tramp, or a tramp.
That's what I thought, Lady and the Tramp. So I thought
because he's a street dog. He doesn't have no owner, so he doesn't have anyone giving him a slave name.
Yeah. But apparently Homer was Lady and the Homer?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's what it said on Wikipedia anyway.
Well, did the
They've
song...
never to be wrong.
You've got the font of all knowledge up. Did the song Lady and the Tramp come first, or did the movie?
Let's look it up. So Lady and the Tramp...
Oh, hang on. No, because it's not Lady and the Tramp. It's The Lady is a Tramp. I forget. I was
like, what is that song? I don't know that song. Yeah.
That's why the lady is a tramp.
It was released in 1955 to box office success. It was the first animated film to be filmed in the Cinescope widescreen film process, as well as Disney's first animated film to be distributed by their Buena Vista division following their split from RKO Radio Pictures.
Ah, Buena Vista. Muy bueno.
Yeah. All right. So, anyway.
Okay, that's enough.
Banter.
Preamble.
Favorite moments in the episode? You said you didn't have many, but...
Like I said, I liked the heroin equals chocolate thing, or chocolate equals heroin.
Yeah.
Not a bad transposition.
And it tells kids, don't eat chocolate. It's bad for you, kids.
Dando and I had a bit of a talk about chocolate off mic beforehand. And,
guys on the dark chocolate, I'm just like, if we're going to eat chocolate, I want chocolate.
Well, Meanwhile,
treat yourself. I'm
being a late night sophisticate, having like a little nip of whiskey on ice and a square of dark chocolate. Pretending
was it a White Russian?
It's called the Cope.
I read an interview with Jeff Bridges recently where he's like, I went to that film thinking it was going to be a huge success and people just didn't get it, man.
But they did get it, Jeff.
He was like, it wasn't successful. People just didn't get it.
Yeah, but it's got a tail. It's got a long tail.
Yeah,
people love Lebowski.
But at the time though, it's like it's got longevity. But 1990, when did that movie come out? 1998.
Yes,
no, it's like 1998. Jeff Bridges wanted success then. He doesn't care 20 years from then.
It's one of my favorite stories about my man John Carpenter. How, I think he had like the other horror film, the only other horror filmmaker, the filmmaker Guillermo del Toro, sort of sitting down with the dinner one night saying, you know what, the Thing, such a great movie. He goes, yeah, nobody saw it in 1982. What's good to do me now?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, because as we know, JC just loves that money.
Yeah. Humans love money.
Well, that's true. That's why they call it money. So, yeah, I liked heroin equaling chocolate.
Yeah.
And this is probably a common prank, or at least a prank that happens more often than not. But putting the Jell-O into the tunnel of love river.
Well, it doesn't work because Jello takes forever to set.
That is correct. But I was like,
as a visual gag, this works. As a scientist, I don't think this works.
let me point out the flaws in your hypothesis.
I know this because Elliot wants me to make red jelly for him lately, and we put it in the fridge, and 5 minutes later he's like, is it ready yet? And I'm like, it's not ready yet. And then an hour later, it's ready yet? It's not ready yet. I'm like, it says overnight. He doesn't. I'm like, when you wake up, it'll be ready. He's like, but I want it now. I'm like, I know, we all want it now, so you'll stop complaining. But no, jelly takes a long time to set.
Very much a child of the 21st century. I want it now.
Yes, I want it now. I don't know what I want, but I want it now.
You're raising a little Veruca Salt.
I liked the, what did you shoot me for? I cooperated. It's a sex thing. Oh, I get it. And
if you've never seen Bonnie and Clyde,
nah,
which I think is 1968 or so, with Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. Good movie, classic movie. Yeah, it's got a lot of weird sexual underpinnings with their crime spree.
Whenever you see a male and a female in a duo like criminals, it's always they're the new Bonnie and Clyde, aren't they?
Pretty much, yeah. And the gun is usually
they patented that that vibe of couples being criminals.
I'm sure there were criminal couples before that, but Bonnie and Clyde
it celebrated.
Came along at the right time where it's like
the right time.
It's the right time to rob banks and shoot people.
The others were way before their time. The world wasn't ready for them yet.
Correct. Yeah. It's like, oh man,
I like the fancy fleas. We're taking a cottage in the West Leg where all the fleas are fleeing.
That wasn't too bad.
It just reminded me of the I'm going to put a fly in as a gag.
That's one of my favourite go-to images now.
You share it all the time.
Yeah, we're just Homer with the monocle.
I slipped it in as gag when you weren't looking.
Is that when they say vintage Homer or classic Homer? Or they say that something.
It's something like that. Oh, classic. Right.
Classic Homer.
I'm going to look it up now on Frinkiac. I'm going to get the guys that make Frinkiac on the show because they have saved me a lot of time. Saved a lot of people's time. So what is it? Slipped gag. That should find it, right? Pure hilarity. Pure Homer.
That's it. Pure Homer. But I'm pretty sure there's another one with classic Homer.
Let's type classic Homer into Frinkiac. See what happens. Classic Homer.
Great audio this is.
Can't see anything here, no.
Okay.
But pure Homer.
It probably is pure Homer, and I just,
changed it.
Did my thing.
Yeah. You put a clock in it.
Thank you. You got it just right.
I like Officer Otto as well. Happy to be of service, old bean. I've never heard, I'm married to an Englishwoman, been to England numerous times, never heard anyone say the term old bean. But why does anyone who doesn't live in England just assume that they say old bean?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard old bean.
No.
Outside of...
Happy to be of service, old bean.
Well, you got Google up. Do you want to look up what old bean means?
I can't be bothered.
Yeah, me neither.
I also really enjoyed how much Martin was enjoying Saturday night by the Bay City Rollers.
Absolutely.
SATUY. Night.
You know how there are certain songs that are very popular at sporting events?
Yeah.
And one of them is it Rock and Roll by Gary Glitter?
That's the that's the one. It's people still like the song, but like, oh, Gary Glitter's a bad guy, but we like the song.
That's the thing. There are certain things that
it was made recently. Joker Down the Stairs. That's what it's known for now.
Oh, of course, yeah. But they'd also play it when at the halftime at the footy or something. Yeah, I get the feeling. As far as I can tell, none of the Bay City Rollers have touched up any kids or anything like that. So so they're probably
safe.
Yeah, let's reclaim SATUYDAY. Night. It's great. Sing along to it.
Let's do it. Martin was having a great time. Yeah,
Martin was having a great time. Yeah.
All right, trivia time.
It is indeed trivia time. Do you want me to go first, or would you like to go?
Well, I've realised I've got no questions here, so yeah, you move your first.
How about I go first?
Yeah,
okay. During the Bonnie and Clyde segment, we see a bunch of bobbleheads.
We do.
What does the Flanders one say?
It's like,
basically, what's Alicia Silverstone's best known movie?
Well, for me, isn't she in Batman and Robin?
God damn it! What the fuck?
Is she Batman and Robin, or is she?
She's Batgirl in Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, yeah.
Yes.
But damn, when I was like 8, I was like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, Alicia Silverstone was.
Is she not Clueless?
Smoke Show, yeah, Clueless.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you the first.
Oh yeah. So it's Clueless. I know the word's down my tongue. It starts with U, right?
No, it starts with an A.
Accomplice.
You got it.
Yes, accomplice. Yes.
Yeah, got it.
It's not Clueless accomplice. Yes.
Yeah.
My first question for you will be: what holiday is Homer going to, or is Clyde going to return to see his dad? I'll see you at.
Oh.
Because he goes, you could have.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, yes.
Indeed. Which cartoon character is the star of Tijuana Trouble?
Say that again. Which?
They're in a movie theater. They're watching the racist cartoon prior to the main feature.
Yeah.
The cartoon.
The racially sensitive cartoon. I was like,
even I'm disgusted by this. The
only reason you put this in there is to put something that's racially insensitive into your show and get away with it. I think. What other purpose did that serve?
Just to have the
we want racist shit in our show. Let's just do it.
Yeah, and then you give yourself the escape hatch. Even I'm a friend. Yeah.
We acknowledge that it's insensitive, but
But still, you're getting a laugh out of it, aren't you?
Yeah. No idea.
Robbie Robin.
Robbie Robin.
Not Woody Woodpecker, but Robbie Robin.
Robbie Robin. Yes. All right. My next question for you will be, let's see if you're paying attention to my favorite moments. Where they got a cottage, the Fleas. We're taking a cottage in
the West Hindquarters?
West Leg. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
You just fancied it up.
I did.
The hindquarters.
As one should when you're talking about Lady Bitington, which leads into my next trivia question. Who was Lady Bitington's partner?
Ooh, I don't know.
Chomper.
Any fancy voice? Like fancy rich kid voice or whatever, Father.
May we, Daddy?
Please, Father.
Please, Daddy, please.
And Daddy did the film.
Shopping.
We just reviewed Here Comes the Neighborhood on Going Down to South Park. So
and it had one of our favourite things, fancy voices.
Yes.
From our friends Parker and
Snooty
Stone.
Voices.
Snooty voices.
And spooky ghosts as well.
Spooky ghosts, snooty voices.
Yes.
Two of our faves.
Yeah, two of our favourite things.
That's all the trivia I got.
All right, I'll find one more question for you. What nickname do they give Lisa in the final segment?
Oh.
She's an American, and it rhymes, the two words.
Oh.
What would you normally call Lisa? She's a
bookworm. I don't know. American.
What does Homer call the guy when he yells at the car at the college?
Oh, nerd.
Nerd. She's an American nerd bird.
Nerd bird.
Yes, American nerd bird. All right, we got there.
We got there thanks to you because I did not answer any of that.
Do you know who's going to save us from this segment?
Stonecutters.
Stonecutters. Yes. In particular, Katie G with her $100 support. Thank you so much, Katie. We love you here at Four Finger Discount.
We do indeed, Katie. Thank you for the regular, what our American friends call a C-note, I believe.
You pay for our shopping.
Because
we go shopping.
Dando and Gabby shopping. for food. That's pretty much it. Having said that, Dando just got like stuff. You got packages that arrived in the mail.
The Blu-rays. Yeah. I was like $6 for one and $8 for the other. So living the high life. Andrew Zer with his $50 support, also paying for some of our shopping.
Andrew, look, we give Katie G her props, and deservedly so. She's great. Andrew Zer, half as great. But which is still pretty great.
Elliot gets snack packs in his lunchbox because of Andrew Zer. Katie G pays for the essentials.
Yeah.
And Andrew Zer pays for the little bonus extras each week.
Thank you, Andrew Zer, and thank you to everybody else whose names we're about to read out.
Yeah, Zach Pruitt.
And when I say us, I mean him.
Zach Pruitt, Andrew Swan, of course, part of the Four Finger Discount team.
Well, one edits and one puts us on the socials.
Yes, exactly right. Or not the website. Whenever we have problems with our website now, Discord, Andrew Swan's just there to save the day.
Swanee.
Yes, and speaking of saving the day, Jordan Molman, Richie, Jonathan Rossi, Rach Beasley, Stephen Roberts, Sean Devey, Pete Anderson, Timothy Burleson, Andrew Davis, Ryan Dunlap, Kevin Dental Plan, Flood, Shannon Hofer, Bella Winterback, Jack McFadden, Heath Appleby, Adric McLeod, Lewis Kavanagh, Mark Treleaven, Reese Roberts, Ginger and Pickle, Preston Murray, Talia Enriquez, Jake Mercado, Declan Phoenix, Brian McCoy, Josh Hellier, Logan Bede, James Shepard, Joe Reedensek, Dave Pretzels McNally, Gavin Lang, and Damien Miller. Thank you for being top tier Stonecutter supporters of ours on Patreon at Four Finger Discount.
Thank you so very much.
All right, let's get into our review of Love, Springfieldian Style. So the original air date was February 7th, 3 days after Valentine's Day in 2008. What were you doing for Valentine's Day in 2008? I would have been, I had a gal in university. Would have been doing something somewhere.
I hate to bring the mood down, but 2008, I was probably getting divorced.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Moving along.
You asked.
Production code KABF05, written by Don Payne, directed by Raymond S. Percy. Couch gag. Each family member rushes into the living room and attaches themselves to a giant-sized baby mobile.
Is it mobile or mobile?
Baby mobile, I think, yeah. Mobile's a car, right?
I thought a mobile was a
car. Mobile.
Yeah, automobile.
Yeah.
And then is the thing that hangs over the baby's crib
Mobile.
Mobile.
Right? Yeah. That's not saying mobile is a car, right?
No, it's the other way around.
Didn't I-
Mobile is a car. Mobile is the thing.
Mobile.
Or is it?
No. Mobile.
What do you say, automobile or automobile?
Automobile. That's weird. It's like garage. Say garage.
Garage.
Yeah. Not garage or garage.
Oh, fucking hell.
This
again.
You know this? It's because I live with Nicola and she says words wrong so frequently that I start copying her.
She speaks English in English.
How dare she?
I know, right?
Because she says garage.
Yeah, no, that's just...
It's weird, right? In the garage.
Nicola, come on.
So, but but if you ask me, how do you say garage? I say, I'm in the garage.
Yeah.
But garage, it's weird. It's slightly different, but it's very different as well.
It's not quite Caribbean.
So I'm going in my automobile. Yeah. Mobile, and then mobile is mobile phone. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah. But we've given you something
That was
to think
2
about.
minutes of content, everybody.
Strike those off. Okay, good.
The episode kicks off, and as I was saying, I liked the start of this of just Springfield on Valentine's Day, people enjoying each other's company. Well, Smithers not so much with Mr. Burns because he says release the hounds on the candies. I never had those candies on Valentine's Day.
No, they're sort of chalky little numbers. I don't think I've ever had them.
They're not nice.
Either.
No, the kids sometimes get these like the bracelet things, and they eat them off, and I'm just like, none of this is tasty. Why are we eating these? It's just hard sugar.
Yeah, just have some dark chocolate and a glass of whiskey at the end of the night, like your pal Guy here.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. But yeah, basically, so Homer and Marge, he takes her to the carnival, and at first I'm thinking, oh, you dickhead. And they're like, oh, 2 hours kid free. Very smart move, Homer.
Dando can relate.
I can relate indeed. Just like the time they lost the kids at the mall, that was the best Christmas ever. So they go in the tunnel of love. What kind of tunnel of love was this?
I know. Well,
Spooky ghosts?
I think that's meant to be the gag that they've repurposed the ghost train.
Ah, there you go. Okay, just because it's Valentine's Day, they've just
and carnies are cheap. Or they're what's the word I'm looking for? Clever.
Well, I completely missed that. So thanks for explaining it to me.
I don't think they actually say that out loud, but
most people would have the common sense to realise 2 and 2 together.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You didn't. You came up with a fraction.
But they're enjoying themselves. She's getting spooked and she wants to cuddle and whatnot. It's all working out well. Bart says he wants to ruin their fun because he thinks if they keep kissing, it'll lead to the stork getting a baby.
Yes, his clearly uninformed idea of how babies are made.
They haven't had sexual education yet. Even though...
Well, Lisa seems pretty... but I think Lisa does
But they watch Fuzzy Bunny. She's faking it.
I know. I think Bart's got a short attention span and picked up the wrong lesson somewhere along the line. They stuck.
So he puts Jello in the water, makes it all go hard, and it turns into Jello.
That's not the only thing that happened in the tunnel of love, if you know what I mean.
Exactly right.
I don't know what I mean.
I think you're supposed to say that was the only thing that didn't go hard. That went hard. No, it wasn't the only thing that went hard in the tunnel of love. Is that what you're trying to say there?
Isn't that what I said?
You said that's the only thing that happened in the tunnel of love.
Well, I thought I threw hard in there.
Yeah, okay. Well, you probably did.
You think that's bad?
But the ride stops as a result. The witch keeps coming out and scaring them. The guy says you're going to be charged extra for your time here on the ride.
Yeah.
Have you been stopped on a ride, on an amusement ride?
Not to my recollection, no. Not in a way that's so traumatic that it actually stuck in my memory.
Happened to us. I've definitely told this on the podcast at some point, but Pirates of the Caribbean, or Pirates of the Caribbean, however you want to say it.
That's something I was about to sort of allude to when I mentioned that earlier, because it's an American movie, and our American friends tend to say, I'm off to the Caribbean. Well, our rich American friends. When they've I never saw an American trailer for the Johnny Depp franchise, Pirates of the Caribbean, but I'm wondering if they said, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Caribbean's just easier to say, and it
flows
better. Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a tongue twister.
Caribbean.
And the award goes to Pirates of the Caribbean. Like it's
like aluminum and aluminium. Forget about it.
Trash can.
It's a different word altogether.
But I was on that ride, right?
Yes.
And at the very start of the ride at Disneyland, so the original one in Anaheim, it's just like like the Love Tunnel right here.
Yes.
Like the Love Road. You go through. At the start, there's like this skull. I think it was like a pirate, whatever it was, like a head. Before you go down, the first sort of drop, and it goes, "Dead man tell no tales," and then you go down, right?
It's pretty spooky.
So we're on the ride, and then the ride stops at that one point. So we sat there for about an hour hearing, Dead man tell no tale.
Did you punch that skull right in the skull?
Oh, I would if I could have reached it. But it was up the top. I'm just like, holy shit. I heard at least 100 times, I reckon. Dead man tell no tales. Like, at least turn this fucking thing off.
You're going to be charged for this.
Well, we waited like an hour to go to the ride. And I wasn't even that interested, but it was one of those things where my mate's like, you got to try it, you know, because at least you can say you went on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, it's the original ride. Okay. We get there. After all that waiting, that's the very start of the ride. It stops. I was like, oh no. Jesus. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
But basically, this is where Homer starts telling the story about Bonnie and Clyde because they're going to kill some time. So Cletus invites Marge or Bonnie to a picture show. He said he won't misbehave. And she says she wants action, action, action.
Indeed. By the way, before we launch into the Bonnie and Clyde story, I think he's talking about, or maybe Marge is talking about, she wants to hear certain love stories that are brimming with romance and love that lasts through the ages. And one of them is Brangelina. Ooh, that didn't age well.
Oh, that didn't age well at all. No, that's right. Yeah.
The more you hear about the sort of the Pitt Jolie,
I haven't heard much about it for a long time, to be honest.
It just sounded like bad news for one another.
Yeah, it felt like a PR stunt, if anything. And then they're like, we're so deep we can't get out.
Yeah, but look, you can do your own Googling on Brangelina if you like, but I just wanted to bring it up because, I don't know, I like gossip and I'm a little bitch.
Yes. Well, we all know this. I feel like you'd be a Gossip Girl fan, right?
No, but I am a Gossip Girl.
You are a Gossip Girl, yes.
Anyway, XOXO.
So that was kind of like the Sex and the City for
XOXO.
That was like the Sex and the City for like teens, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about saucy stuff. Anyway, so Homer is Clyde. Saucy. Homer is Clyde. Marge is Bonnie. They meet. She basically says, the only way I'm going to get horny is if you do illegal shit. So Homer, he holds up the feed store, breaks up the Tommy gun store, gets the Tommy gun out, shoots it up. Turns out that Grandpa's the owner. He co-owns that store. He didn't need to do it anyway. Then they have oats, Texas caviar, and he realizes violence is their only turn on. Maybe there's others. I'm too lazy to figure it out. Violence it is.
Yeah, indeed. Plus, if you dive a little deeper into the Bonnie and Clyde story, Clyde Barrow may have been gay, possibly.
Oh, really?
Possibly impotent. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff in the Bonnie and Clyde story.
But he shoots the plane down to get her horny again. They rob the bank. The bank owner says, "Why are you shooting me?" You know, I cooperate. It's a sex thing. Oh, fine. I get it. Then Flanders picks them up. So was there a clueless assailant?
Well, in the Bonnie and Clyde movie, they have like their getaway driver, who was apparently like a third party in the Bonnie and Clyde menage a trois.
Yeah.
They also took some hostages or occasionally had people along for the ride as, just had people along for the ride. The accomplice in the movie is not really as clueless as Flanders. I think they just wanted to wedge Flanders in there.
Yes, okay.
They gave him a nicer mustache.
They did, yeah, fancied up a little bit. But he says he's going to help them. He drives them away. And then we get the news report about how they're all being embraced by the town. There's bobbleheads. There's a radio show with George Burns.
Burns and Allen. George and Gracie.
Yep. Yeah.
That's just our go-to. Well, my go-to.
You do it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas George Burns was like,
because George Burns is Burns' older brother. Remember in the Bobo episode?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But then Flanders realizes that they're unmarried, so he's going to turn them in. The sheriff, meanwhile, is there watching the movie as well. He's like, wait, I want to watch this racially insensitive cartoon, which serves absolutely no purpose except for the fact that it's racially insensitive and want to put it on The Simpsons.
Well, yeah, there's just Mexican food will exit your system fairly quickly. And and also muy caliente. And also kids will use you as a piñata because that's what Mexican people do.
That's all they do. That's their pastime.
Even I'm disgusted by that shit.
Yes. So Flanders pulls them over, says he has to go do something in the bushes or whatever, and the cops just shoot them. There's no blood, and they're having a conversation as they're being shot to death, saying she wants to see other people because he's not exciting enough for her anymore. She flirts with Wiggum, the cop, and that's pretty much the end of the episode, end of the segment. Yeah,
that's the end. Yeah, the end of the film Bonnie and Clyde. Spoiler for Bonnie and Clyde: they both get shot by the cops, but in a way that was unprecedented in American cinema. Because it's like, wow, they're really shooting the shit out of these people.
Kind of like Godfather.
A little bit, yeah. It's like when Sonny gets killed on the causeway. Bonnie and Clyde is the precursor to that.
One of this in film, right? I feel like moments that hit me almost harder than others are the moment just before someone realizes they're fucked. Like Pesci Is it
yeah.
Goodfellas when he goes in the back room? It's like,
Oh,
I was like, shit.
just did it again. Oh no.
Oh, shit.
Oh, they shot me in the head.
I was going to do a Home Alone rant, but I won't do that.
Yeah, tough break for Tommy DeVito and Goodfellas.
Yeah.
And,
Like the moment of them realized, like, imagine being that moment where you're like, shit. I can't get out of this.
among the nerds of, say, film Twitter, there's a prompt question that always goes around. And I was like, haven't we already done this one? Stop doing this. But, it always gets engaged.
The new thing now is so-and-so doing something. A thread.
Oh, yeah.
A thread.
But this one in particular was like, what is the best, I'm dead and I know it's scene? And it's always Jeff Daniels in Speed.
Yes. Yeah, before the explosion. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we already know this.
I've seen it like 2 or 3 times. It's always that one, yeah.
It's always
I want to do one saying a thread of people saying a thread. A thread.
and have the little thread spool.
Yeah.
Social media. It's good in some ways, terrible in others.
Until you learn how to
That's
make money
my
from
2
it.
cents.
But basically, they come back from commercial. They're still shooting. I guess the joke is that they've been shooting through the commercial break because that's what happened in the film, the excessive shooting. But now shooting the birds that are pecking at their bodies. Margin tells the story of Shady and the vamp. And Shady is Homer, is playing in the yard. No, sorry, Shady is Lady, sorry. She's playing in the yard. Imagine what she'd look like with her collar off. I was like, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I see what you're going for there. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
but she's too fancy for him. Even her fleas are more, what's the term the Mo-Dog uses?
Oh,
Too upper class for us.
Blue
whatever.
blood, upper crust.
Whatever, yeah. But the fancy fleas there. Taking the cottage in the West Leg, where all the fleas are fleeing.
Pure Homer.
Homer, who is Homer? What's his name in here? Vamp?
I guess he's the vamp.
He's the vamp, yeah. He takes her flowers and a bone that he digs up.
Unless he's Shady.
No, Shady is the lady.
Is that her actual name? Yeah.
I know, because Shady is.
Yeah.
Because they say Shady is
because
dad, right?
one would accuse the vamp. One would assume that the vamp is the woman.
Yeah.
Situation. I mean, sorry for being a terrible gender essentialist.
Yeah, because I've got here. That's why.
And his behaviour is shady.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they say Shady, or they're saying Daddy.
They say Daddy.
Let's have a look at this. I just want to make sure I get this right. Shows how much.
Why the writers didn't. sorry, Don Payne.
Vamp,
actually ripped Don Payne.
Vamp is Marge, Shady is Homer. Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. Glad we settled that. But the kids going out a gate interrupt Homer flirting with her. He says, she said, what can I do for you? He asks her out to dinner. The Mo-Dog serves no purpose. And I guess was there a friend in the film that was just like really
Like
annoying?
I said, do I know anything about Lady in the Tramp and the Spaghetti Kiss? None.
No.
Nothing.
The Mo-Dog wants to come too. And he wants one of the dogs wearing a bucket on the head so he can check them out while they're not realising or something.
I thought it so I wouldn't see him.
Okay.
Or maybe.
Who knows? But Luigi then brings food out to Shady and Vamp out. And this is basically just the iconic scene.
They do that
this
thing,
is what everyone remembers, as you're saying. Yeah. I like the twist of Homer sucking her head into his mouth.
It's not let go of that spaghetti.
You let go of the spaghetti, yes. You're pretty feisty for an upper class bitch. Again, it felt like they were just trying to be a bit naughty in this episode, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I had to explain it. I love that you use a technical term for a female dog, just in case parents got a bit annoyed. Because I feel
Which
like
when the kids go, see?
I feel like classic Simpsons would have just left it at bitch. They wouldn't have explained it. They would have had the balls to go, no.
Yeah.
And if you complain, then you're the idiot.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, they explained it. They dumbed it down for us.
They made themselves the idiot.
Then the health inspector arrives, and poor Luigi, why didn't he listen to his mama?
Just serve a people.
Serve people, yes. Vamp is now on heat, which is the safest time, right? It's like, yeah, sure. And as we get a pan out there was a couple sitting in the car in the shadows. I thought, is that an homage to a particular shot in Lady and the Tramp? Again, why am I asking you?
You keep asking me.
Well, you're the movie man. You're the movie guy.
Yeah, but Lady and the Tramp, I probably saw when I was like 6 years old, and that was a long, long time ago.
Yeah. You know a film that reminds me of that? The Wizard of Oz. I reckon I've seen it 100 times. But I can probably remember like maybe 4 or 5 key scenes. I feel like I have to rewatch it.
But I think you can say that about a lot of movies and all. So even the great ones.
Yeah.
I don't think you can there are some that you remember scene to scene to scene to scene, but they're the ones that are probably your personal favourites. But I think you think about the classics. It's like, it's a movie where that happens and that happens and that happens. Like there's about maybe 50 other scenes.
And as you're watching it, you're like, oh, this happens too. Oh, yeah. That's why it's a classic.
Yeah, it's always a terrific surprise. You know, you revisit, say, Godfather Part 2. It's like, oh, yeah, this happens. Oh, that's rad.
Yeah. So she wakes up feeling unwell. Homer bails. It's like, I don't want no part of this. Shady bails. Marge is now heavily pregnant, and they sing a song, Any Minute Now. I liked the song. Any Minute Now. I thought this must have been a song from the movie, but I looked it up. It's not.
Is it something that they created especially for this
Yeah.
episode? Because I saw in the end it was written by Don Payne and
Yeah.
Clausen, and
I liked the song.
because
It
I get the feeling I'd heard Any Minute Now in
I typed-
some other way.
I typed Disney in Any Minute Now, or was it Disney? Or I typed Simpsons Any Minute
Because
Now.
it feels like a girl group song,
Yeah, Any Minute Now.
like Motown or Phil Spector or something like that.
Disney Any Minute Now. About to Google it. Let's see what comes up.
Well,
No,
not
it's
even-
all just Simpsons.
Not even just Disney. I mean,
No.
just put in Any Minute Now song
Song.
and see if it comes up with something other than Simpsons.
Okay. Well, I looked up the Any Minute Now on the Simpsons wiki, and it doesn't say it's a tribute to anything. It's just a song that was written for this episode. The
Well-
music was written by Don Payne and Alf Clausen.
Well done, you guys, because it's a catchy song and one that I thought was, I hate to downplay it, but like an actual song.
Any Minute, no, can't find anything. If I'm wrong, let me know, listeners or viewers. But
Yeah.
I can't find anything. Yeah. Well,
Wow.
I enjoyed the song.
I enjoyed that song.
Yes. So now we've had the song, and basically she's realised, oh, I'm screwed. I've got babies now, and
Yes.
no baby daddy.
He's shady. His
Yes.
behaviour is shady.
And he's not slim.
No. The kids still like bones.
But she's had the puppies, and she's now, How'd they get that photo on the wall? I don't know. Like, let's not ask questions. But she rips the photo off the wall of them
don't-
having spaghetti in the alleyway.
Don't ask questions.
And Bart and Lisa, puppies, they say, we're going to find out, Dad. And yeah, true, because you got to teach me how to lick. Oh, wait, I figured it out. Don't need him anymore. But they go, and they're looking for him. And then Willie, the dog catcher, catches them. He says, you're going to put to sleep by my boring stories. And then killed.
Dando, you like to pick nits. You do it on occasion.
Yeah, I do.
I rarely do. Today I'm going to pick a nit. Those dogs are wearing tags. Both the puppies are wearing tags.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't be, taken to the pound.
Those tags would have more than just a name on them. They would have a phone number.
I reckon so. Lift your game, Simpsons.
Willie's just a shit person, though, maybe.
That's true. Yeah, just a I want to use the Australian term.
What's that?
That he's just a shit cunt.
Yeah.
Cut that out, Zach. But
But Willie's just one of those guys where it's like,
such a great term.
yeah.
It's not one you can. Nah, forget it. It's a tangent, and it'll have to be cut out anyway. But I mean, I love how Australians, we use the C word as a term of endearment. But if you want to be like, oh, they're no good, then you got to preface it with they're an SC.
Yes.
Love it. Language, it's fantastic.
But Willie's just a guy that catches dogs. He's not like the official dog. He's just a dog catcher.
Maybe he's just a sadist.
Yeah, he just catches dogs and takes the collars off and takes them to the pound. He just
Not even
catches
to the pound. Maybe he's got his own pound.
Maybe he's got a gas chamber there.
Yeah, but he's like, oh, sick.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, that's ill.
This took a bad turn.
Yes.
But
this episode takes a bad turn.
yeah. Well, oh man, does it ever? So Homer's concerned. Mo says, "Let's sniff each other's butts," and Homer wants nothing of it. Then they're I've got the pound, and there's like the bullies there. A version of the dogs. This Snake was another one of them there. I think Bumblebee Man was like a Chihuahua or something.
Yeah, he was looking all. He was the new fish on the block.
Yep. And then this way to the upstate farm, which is obviously the gas chamber, and it's Goofy, not voiced by Bill Farmer.
Gosh.
No. And I got here. I'm going to put together a article of all the times the Simpsons made fun of Disney before they were owned by Disney.
Ah, yes, because now the Simpsons is owned.
Yes.
in both senses,
Yes. So
literally and metaphorically.
gets put in the gas chamber, and this was cut out on TV.
I imagine it would be.
Because he's just put. It's a Holocaust gag.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
It really is.
He just hearing choking to death, and there's no gag here. It's just we're putting Goofy into the gas chamber. And I'm like, oh.
Now, admittedly, Goofy does make it out of the gas chamber
Yeah, he does,
alive
yeah.
later, but at the same time, I've written down here, could have done without Gas and Goofy. And Goofy's not even one of my favourite characters.
But Goofy's harmless.
Goofy's harmless.
I mean,
but
as
he's
a
not-
90s kid, Goofy's always been one of my favourites because we had Goof Troop and a Goofy movie.
You
and-
liked a Goofy movie.
Yeah, yeah. So Bart and Lisa.
For me, it's always Stand By Me. It's like, what the hell is Goofy?
Yeah. So Bart and Lisa are now next. And Willie walks in, says, got some Cycle 5 as your last meal, specifically formulated with dogs for 5 minutes, for dogs with 5 minutes to live.
This was quite sadistic.
Cruel, yeah. Homer then bites him. Don't bite the hand that kills you. He kills Willie, I'm assuming. Takes him home, lets Goofy out. He says the line about this place is no picnic, but it sure beats working for Disney. I know it kind of feels like a gotcha, but it felt so like a little kid going, like it felt like a really lazy joke.
Yeah, and then you got pantsed.
Yeah,
Because Disney just owned you later.
exactly
Feel
right.
bad for
yeah.
Fox.
But they get home, Marge accepts him, and then he realizes he's got 9 other puppies to look after as well. And that's the end of the episode.
That
of
is
this
the
segment.
end of that segment, yes.
Now Bart's telling the story about Sid and Nancy, and we got to hear the Sex Pistols band. So Bart is Johnny Rotten. Is it Kearney, no, not Kearney. Dolph is another one of them. Who's the other member of the band? Jimbo, I think. Maybe Jimbo
I don't
and
think
Dolph.
it's all the bullies.
I think it's Jimbo and Dolph.
Okay.
And Nelson. I don't think Kearney's in there. But basically the story is here that they're in the band. Sid Vicious, whatnot, is Nelson. And Lisa is there with Milhouse. He's followed her to uni or college or whatever.
College abroad.
Yes. And she's like, great, a chance to meet new people, but no, you followed me here. Yes. Then she hears the music and she walks in and it's just like punk rock and Nelson's hitting himself in the head and he's so uncompromising. I do like the fact that they use Lisa and Nelson here. That seems to be a romance that never goes away.
They do realise that these characters are... It's very much the opposite attract thing, but it's
I can save him.
Something that kind of works, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and also she's attracted to the bad boy.
Yes. Otto is selling...
Much like Nicola and Dando.
Although, I'm attracted to the bad girl. Let's just leave that, shall we?
Let's.
Otto is selling some chocolate, which is meant to be drugs. At first, I didn't get it. I was like, chocolate, I get it because they're kids.
Yeah, but they made sure you got it.
Yeah, by the end of it,
they definitely made sure you got it.
Yes. She's too smart to put that in her body. I was like, you fat shaming her, Milhouse? What are you doing here? And then...
Oh, we'll just, zeroing out the sugar.
Yes. And Milhouse ends up having to pay because, that's my girlfriend. Were you paying for it? Gets arrested. Officer Otto, happy to be of service. Old bean. Martin then puts on Saturday Night in the Jukebox. And I was like, unashamed love of this song. Go for it, Martin.
Absolutely. Yeah. What else do the Bay City Rollers have?
They sing that... God, the song is in my head, but I can't tell you what it's called.
It's no good in there. Get it out.
I know. It's Bay City Rollers singles.
Get it out.
Bay City Rollers singles.
Also, what is the Bay City that they hail from?
I only want to be with you. I only want to be with you.
Da, 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 da.
You know that one?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have da 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 in it. I just added that for spice.
Yeah, they apparently they were really big. My mum loved them when she was younger. She said.
Oh look, I was around for the Bay City Rollers heyday. I mean, I was only a little
Scottish. Okay, didn't I?
Yeah, I was a little kid, but they had them on Countdown on a Saturday night. It's like everyone loves Bay City Rollers. I think they suck.
It's a good name.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bay City Rollers. Yeah.
I think Geelong should. It did for a while.
Change it to Bay City Plaza again.
Oh, and should re-embrace its title as Bay City.
Yeah, Bay FM.
Bay City sounds cool.
It does. It sounds like a place you want to go visit during summer. Yeah, I want to go to Bay City.
And then a Bay City.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you sort of do
we can
the ironic quote, mate, I'm heading down to Bay City. But after a while, it's like, you know what? It actually is a city on the bay.
It actually is kind of turning into a city now.
Yeah. Bay City, man. Let's call it that. Yeah. We can be the Bay City Rollers.
Well, Westfield killed that when they got rid of Bay City Plaza.
I know. Who runs Westfield? Is it Lowy? Is he that?
I have no idea.
I think he's like the big sort of money man and power broker behind all the Westfield things, and just said like, no, we got to put the Westfield brand. I was like, it's Bay City Plaza. It's Bay City Plaza. Plaza. It's Michael Jackson. Sorry.
Local reference. People listening from overseas going, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah, but in the specificity, you find universality. This is true. I mean,
imagine if you had a Mal in the States that had always had a particular name, and then the big conglomerate came along and said, we're changing the name to this. And it's like, but why? It's Plaza.
It's the Boise Mall of Boise, Idaho. Why do you want to call it
Marvel Mal?
It's got to have its own flavour.
Lisa's walked in with chocolate to offer the Sex Pistols because they've thrown Martin into the jukebox, and they're not interested in chocolate. They say it's boring. And I was like, oh, I thought the Sex Pistols would have been all about drugs. I guess they weren't.
I don't think they were actually. Yeah. I mean, Johnny Rotten was actually and still is to some degree, a pretty smart guy. Yeah, I think some of them were certainly on drugs. I think Steve Jones was. Don't know about Glenn Matlock, but Sid certainly was. Sid went after it with gusto. And, people say, maybe they had something to do with Nancy Spungen. It was a bit of a certain kind of a Kurt and Courtney precursor. But no, I don't think Johnny Rotten actually was.
Just not an act, but it was just, there was a market there.
Well, punk is not necessarily just
drugs,
about fucking yourself up. It's more about just fuck the establishment.
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you got to have a straight head to do that. There's a lot of, of course, there's a lot of straight edge.
Well, it says here, I didn't sign Sid Vicious. I want it to be a 30-year relationship.
Told you should have hired Tom Responsible, which is what you got when you got me.
Yeah.
Mitch was Sid Vicious, and I'm Tom Responsible.
But they go on the binge here because he's American Nerdbird. They try the chocolate, and Sid Vicious and Nancy, Lisa, and Nelson both enjoy it. They got the hot chocolate. They throw the chocolates down the toilet when the police arrive. They spray paint each other. They melt the chocolate on the ice cream in the studio.
That looked nice.
Yeah, so basically she's ruining his life, ruining the band's life as well.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen Sid and
chocolate
Nancy. I mean,
influence.
I think Sid Vicious was probably kind of self-destructive to some degree anyway.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people may have had issue with the film in saying that, oh, Nancy led him down the path to hell or something like that. I'm not sure. It's been a while. I should rewatch Sid and Nancy. It was a good movie.
Was it? When did it come out?
Like 88 or so.
Oh, that late?
Sort of like the star-making role for Gary Oldman.
Okay. So now it's time for their gig at the San Antonio Arena, where so that night they're playing the Sex Pistols. The following night it's the Reverend Billy Graham, and the day after it's Reverend Graham's with Billy Pistol. But they arrive off their heads. Yeah, so he says here, when I hired Sid Vicious, I expected a 30-year business relationship. And then they sing the BOLLOCKS song. Another reason why it was aired later on the UK.
Oh, because BOLLOCKS.
Because BOLLOCKS is a bad word, apparently.
Well, it's slang for testicles.
Yeah, I know that, but I get that. But it's meant as a terms of bullshit. Bollocks.
Yeah, bollocks to that.
Yeah. Sid then ruins the song. Then Nancy says he's quitting the band. He's going to write his own songs. I'm going to write his songs for him. And he says something just stop talking and bang your head against that wall. So basically, they're trying to say that he Yoko owned her. Or she Yoko owned him.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yoko owned him.
Yeah. Now they're singing love songs together. This ending came very abrupt. So they're singing love songs, and the guys in the crowd are annoyed. This song doesn't make me feel angry at all, and his hair turns into like an emo hair, makes me feel sad. They get thrown out of CBGB's. Now apparently that's a real place.
Yeah, it's like a punk and new wave epicenter in New York City.
Yes, yep. But this is Comic Book Guy's bar,
which I thought was not a bad gag.
Yes, one of those gags where if you know, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, as a kid though, you watch this going like, huh, whatever. It's just Comic Book Guy's bar. So they get thrown out. They go back to being druggos again, and
indeed. Have they used the term chomp and wonka yet? Because
they have.
Yes, yeah. Which I thought was pretty funny.
Yes. But then
you've been chomping Wonka.
Homer then pours trash all over them, and that's the end. Is that how the movie ends? Or what's the go?
Apparently so. Yes, it's like it's like a Joker kind of thing where, everything's dirty and filthy, but we're turning into something romantic. So yeah, like they're making out in the alleyway, and there's like garbage all around them, but it's like it's filmed as the most romantic thing ever.
Okay. He says, "Happy Valentine's Day," and shut your gob.
And then it ends, and that's it. Yeah.
A nothing episode. These trilogy episodes tend to be nothing episodes. Inoffensive, but just forgettable.
That's the best way of putting it, Dando.
Yep. Nothing much more to say, except for what did you learn from the episode, Mr. Davis?
That you should go easy on Bay City Roller fans because they are ahead of the curve.
SADUYDAY. No. What was your guilty pleasure band when you were, say, 15?
Oh, gosh, when I was 15, I don't know.
What was a band you remember enjoying that you would never dare let your friends know that you enjoyed?
I'll have to go back a little further because there's a song that I really, really like, but it's it's Cliff Richard. It's Devil Woman by Cliff Richard. And
don't tell me my business, Devil Woman. That's a quote. I say that to Nicola all the time. Don't tell me my business. Don't. That's what she says to him. The poo bag is on fire. Don't put it out with your boots, Ted. It's like, don't tell me my business, Devil Woman.
Well, Cliff Richard, the most sexless man in show business, but in the mid-70s had a song called Devil Woman where he's like, oh yeah, can't get enough of this lady. Oh, she's just a devil woman. It's like, oh wow, I thought this was
saucy.
I thought it made Barry White sound like Don No Soul Simmons at the time, and then you play it back, it's like, not that sexy. But at the time, I thought, wow. So,
hot damn.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like teenage bands that I would enjoy, but didn't. In the teenage years, I don't know, but when I was in like my early 20s, and I remember distinctly, and I've told this before, being out at the nightclub and like East 17. Started playing. It's like, all right, everything's going to be all right. Everybody knew that East 17 was these naff fuckers. Yeah. It was like, this is a fucking jam. I'm hitting the floor.
I was like Lady Gaga for me. I was like, early Lady Gaga. I'm like, there was a song she sang, like Summertime or something about summer, right? And I was like, this song is a fucking banger.
Oh yeah.
And then, but like I would never dare let my friends know that. But I used to put it on the car on the way to I'm like, this is an awesome song. Yeah. I remember I bought her album, her first album.
I don't know what turned me on to Lady Gaga. It might have been Bad Romance because that
was like the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking jam.
Yeah. Wow. Poker Face is a great song.
Oh yeah, Lady Gaga, she's pretty good.
Are
you looking forward to Joker 2, starring Lady Gaga? Did you like Joker 1?
I like Joker 1. In particular, scene haunts me where he kills his friend and then he lets the other guy go, and you're like,
oh yeah. And
I don't think anything epitomizes fear and terror more than what that guy must have been going through in that moment.
Absolutely, yeah, because it's the little guy.
Yeah,
It's the little person.
Yeah.
I don't know if we did a movie, guys, on Joker, or I've talked about it during a movie, guys. But that's the best scene in the movie because a lot of it is Todd Phillips, who made the Hangover movies and all that kind of stuff. He's trying to be Martin Scorsese, very obviously. And in this scene, he's like, because he's got a real gift for like black comedy and dark comedy. And that scene's kind of funny, but it's also terrifying. This little person can't reach the handle to get out. The Joker's just killed his mate, and he might kill him too, and he can't get out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I'm kind of laughing, but I'm terrified. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a really, really great scene.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to Joker 2 because I think...
I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah, I think Joaquin and Lady Gaga will have complementary energy. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm interested to see is it a direct continuation from that night?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Because it was originally filmed to be a one and done, right?
I imagine so, yeah. But then it made like $1 billion and it won Joaquin the Oscar and all that kind of stuff.
Let's just hope we don't get a Bruce Wayne story again.
Yeah. I think one thing I think DC does that Marvel perhaps shouldn't is they do standalone stuff and they realise, yes, we know this is a different Joker to the one that's been in the Batman movies, but you know, that's what comic books are.
It's in the like it's a multiverse kind of thing, but we're not going to.
It's a multiverse, but the verses aren't connected. Yeah, they're very separate, and yeah, I like that.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll do a movie guys on it, shall we?
Hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed our review of Love Springfieldian Style. As we said, an episode that's forgettable, but you know, check it out. It's nothing. It's harmless.
It won't kill you.
It won't kill you. You're whacking on Valentine's Day. Can't be any more boring.
Wait till Valentine's Day, or maybe even your anniversary with your special person.
Yeah, can't be any more boring. Anything else you have planned for Valentine's Day?
Can we give a shout out to Kel McDonald?
Yeah, got engaged.
She recently got engaged, and they got a baby now.
Yeah,
and everything like that.
It's all happening.
It's the circle of life.
Kel McDonald is a patient of ours.
Patient? Are we doctors?
Patron.
I thought you said patient. I didn't know what he meant.
She's patient with our gibberish.
Yes. Absolutely. She sat through all this. Well done. But congratulations to you and I believe...
Dan, main man Dan as well. He's just announced that they're having a child as well.
Which Dan is this? We got a lot of...
I can't pronounce his last name. It's Shudaliski. I'll get his name up.
France. We're going to call you Dan France from now on.
Dan France. No.
I know the one you're talking about. Congrats to you.
This is their main man who would always go, this is how many Cletus appearances there's been this season.
Oh.
That was the Lord's work.
Or the devil's.
Let's look it up. So Dan Stasinski. So S-T-Y-Z-Y. So S-T-Y-C-Z-Y-N-S-K-I. Stasinski. I'm gonna say Dan Stasinski.
Dan, if we've got it wrong, we apologise and also let us know how to pronounce it.
Yes, he just announced that they're having a baby. So congratulations, Dan.
Well done, Dan.
And congratulations to everyone who is still stuck around for this episode of our 4-Figure Discount. Thank you so much for listening to our review. For all of our patrons out there, don't panic. We're about to do our new names. But for now, anyone who's watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and we'll catch you in the next episode of 4-Figure Discount. And now it's time for the new names. All right, Mr. Davis. The current leaderboard stands at this for the Guy Davis New Name Championship. In first position, we have Jared Hornby on 13 points. We have Adam Warhouse on 12 points in second position. And Phil Hawkins on 9 points in third position. Take it away.
1 point goes to You Had Me at Jello.
That is Kyle Muldoon. Clever Kyle, which gets him up to 6 points now. Outright 6 points.
Pretty clever, Kyle.
Hold on.
Oh, he said hold on as opposed to well done.
No, I said well done.
I got to get these ears checked.
I thought you said patient.
I don't know what. Forget about it. Okay, 2 points goes to Sex, Dogs, and Rock and Roll.
Ooh, he's climbing that leaderboard now. It's Fergus Jeffs with the 2 points there. Well done, Fergus. He's now on 5. He's climbing up.
Oh, well done, Fergus. But 3 points goes to, and because you know I like my does, it's True Domance.
Oh, it's a great movie as well, True Romance.
Isn't it just?
It is indeed. All right. Dave McNally. Well done, Dave. He was only on 1 point. Now he's on 4 points.
Whoa.
Well done, Dave McNally.
McNally.
Yes. All right. So that's the first time he's ever had 3 points. So the current leaderboard, it hasn't changed. Jared Hornby, first position, 13. Adam Morehouse still on 12 points in second. And Phil Hawkins in third on 9 points, with Clever Kyle coming up behind him in fourth.
Woof. Okay, then.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you for all of your support here at 4-Figure Discount. I feel like next week we're going to do a classic review. We won't tell you what it's going to be. We're just going to pick one.
Wow, we're not even going to get your advice or your input on
Do you want
this.
to pick one? What, you pick a season.
No. Like, you give me a little time to work it out. Don't ask me to think on my feet, man.
All right, we're going to do a classic review on the show here next week, and then we'll do another season 19 review, which will be, The Departed.
Oh, okay.
This is an awesome episode. It is obviously a parody of The Departed.
Oh, okay. Well, I
And
like that.
It stars Topher Grace,
Oh, that's good.
and it's a great episode. Yes.
Okay, then.
This is one of my favourite post-Golden Era episodes. Love it.
I'm taking your word for it.
Yes, The Departed. Can't wait for that one.
Okay, so not next week, but the week after.
Yes, we'll do a classic review next week, and then The Departed will be the week after.
Okay, so stay tuned. You're going to have to find out what the special episode is, what the classic episode is.
Also, if you haven't already, check out my interviews with Michael Price and Matt Salmon. They're available now for free.
That I wasn't going to wake up for.
And again, continue to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you do find that show. Over 300 reviews now on Spotify. Thank you so much for doing that, guys.
Some of them positive.
Some of them are positive, yeah. It was 330 something, I think, and we're 4.9. That's pretty good. Stars out of 5.
Do they all say bring back Mitch?
None of them say bring back Mitch. Yeah. I feel like you've ridden the wave, and everyone who's stuck around is just like, nah, we've moved on.
All right.
All right.
All right.
But if you haven't done yet and you're listening on Spotify, please check us 5 stars. It takes 5 seconds. It would really help us get in front of more eyeballs and boost us up the rankings on Spotify.
And earbuds.
Earbuds indeed. All right, Mr. Davis, any final words for those incredible listeners out there?
Let's wrap this up so we can go back to chomping Wonka.